Okay, question. Does dragon damage scale off of intelligence, or does it scale off of... Well, I have no money. Never mind. Okay, it does scale off of intelligence. Cool. Let's see. So we want to do... Probably that sword. Really, it's just the gloves we want to switch. Oh, Ranger Cape actually has both. I will want to invest in that. Alright. I'm still kind of a weak boy, but that's fine. Okay, and it comes back. It's just slower than... It's just a lot slower than Wizard Regen. It's probably fine. Make it work. Ow. Oh! I can hurt myself with my own fireballs. Possibly. Okay. That's gonna take some doing. Or did I just get hit by that? No, I guess I don't. Okay, must have screwed that one up. Oh. So dash runes and jump runes are also completely pointless. I mean, I guess I could have assumed on the jump runes, but I was kind of hoping I could keep my dash at the very least. Also, note to self, drastically increased mana limits. This is a bit painful. There we go. Ooh. Gotta be careful. Alright, and we get Sprint Rune. At least that does decent amounts of damage. Being stereoscopically blind is actually really strange. Oh! Oh, so I can dash. It just immediately drops me out of flight. I can work with that. I'd prefer it if it was just like a full-on dash while flying, but whatever. I'll take what I can get. You know, we're still fairly on here. There's no hint. I don't think there's a hint. So infinite regen, 15% of the mana pool per second. Mage regen's not infinite, depends on New Game Plus. Yeah, so we just gotta increase my mana pool if I want to roll dragon. Because yeah, my mana pool is bad. It is honestly kind of dismal. Which means what I should probably do is actually just die, roll Spelunker. Yeah, let's do that. Kill me. Burn me. Wait, I think I saw spikes over here. Okay, we're just gonna die. I'm gonna go to get a Spelunker, and we're just gonna wait for a little while. Because as it stands, rolling dragon right now is just gonna be effort. Okay, reroll children. So we do have a Spelunker. Chickens freak you out. Savant. Okage. Sure. We need money. And we have... nothing. That shouldn't surprise anybody. Yeah, let's switch the limbs back. Alright, let us go make some more cash. I don't think I've played a character with dwarfism for freaking ever. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. Because I used to mainline characters with heavy dwarfism when I used to play. The first time around. Okay. Okay, break these up. I got killed by a chicken. By a fried. Wow. Okay. None of these. Archmage, Archmage, or Dragon. Let's do Permaroided. And let's work on that maximum MP. Oh, Fear of Chickens is literal now. They always one-shot you. So that's one of the mod things? Okay. Yeah, the Fear of Chickens is rational. Oh, sweet. Balls. Everyone's favorite spell. An overabundance of balls. I guess I should probably actually take this to the forest then. Because I'm squandering this character's potential back here. Okay, let's go do that. It's originally a bug when I found out in testing default. My chat thought it was hilarious, so we left it in. Ooh. Doesn't mean I'm going to want to avoid that one if I can manage it, but still. Okay, let's wait for my mana to come back a little bit. Come here, headless horse. Ow. Damn it. Okay, gotta be a little careful. As these freaking mages hurt. Okay. So far, so good. Yeah, it definitely changes your playstyle. I can imagine. Okay, wait for that to come back as best as possible. Switch back to the balls. Hell yeah. Okay, we have treasure up above. Yes, we do. We also have men with bigger balls than I, which is just insulting. How dare they? Not really hitting him with that. There we go. I just have to not get hit by these overly aggressive balls flying around. Alright, all is good. Get out of here. Oops. Whoops. Okay. Oh, the dwarfism room. More dwarfism rooms. Honestly, it's insulting. Hi. Okay. Just gonna hang out right here. Alright. Probably should have just started slinging balls earlier, but... Okay, so I'm gonna need some mana back before I can kill that guy. Hopefully he's still injured. I don't think he is, though. So we might want to come back later. I guess we can go double-check that real quick with a, proper application of more balls. Okay. So yeah, gotta come back in a little while. Where's the... Let's just go back to the castle for a bit. Yeah, enemies always regen as soon as you leave the room. That's okay. I've got alternatives. Damn it. There's a little bit more in there than I was hoping. I like the balls. They don't quite have the oomph that I was going for. Ooh, hey! Okay, let's see. Well, we did actually manage to get just a little bit Do I want int damage? Yeah, let's work on that. Is there anything else I want to grab? Not really. Alright, now we can go into the dwarf holes. So we got axes, knives, and time stop. Not as good. But it's about time I start getting risky here. There we go. Oh, I hit something. There we go. Ah. Okay. So it turns out aggressive application of daggers. It'll do. Question. Didn't clip him. Okay. Yeah, it does a decent amount. Those guys are always a bit of a pain. No fighting. There we go. By being hella small, I can just bail. Okay, we're good. Yeesh. I guess this isn't so bad. Back we go. Alright. Actually, I haven't read this detail. Villainous. Development time 3 months. April 15th, 2011. Villainous was one of the more risky endeavors we undertook. The initial concept was reverse tower defense, which sounded like it could be a good idea, but we had a hard time converting the could to would. Most people who have played the game thinks the process was an obvious one, but lots of stress and arguments were involved in this project. The entire idea was scrapped 3 or 4 times before we settled on its final version. It's ironic, then, that to date, Villainous is far away one of our most successful titles. It's also the most painful. I kind of hope they have the same retrospective thing in Rogue Legacy 2. Because I'd love to see their thoughts on Full Metal Furies and the like. I think the most painful now is Full Metal Furies, this amazing game that got no attention. I know! Shell and I played it on launch, loved it to death. And nobody gave a shit. And it was just kind of like, but this game is like... It's Castle Crashers, but like... deeper, more interesting, and actually had like a decent plot. Maybe that's a bit too reductive, but like... I liked it better than Castle Crashers by like a fair bit, and just no one gave a shit. Makes me really sad. Hopefully that's one of those games that just slowly pays dividends. But it probably won't be. My assumption is... Oops. My assumption is it'll be one of those games... It'll be one of those games that just, like... people get in bundles and are like, hey, this game looks kind of neat. And then that's just what it remains forever. There's a couple of games like that, actually, that are, like, full co-op, amazing, and no one cared. Oh, shoot. The Trine developers made something similar as well. What's this one? I wanted to read the lore, god damn it! Freaking Salos. Okay. There we go. We get... Guardian Bracers. There we go. Yeah, makes Castle Crashers look bad by comparison. Castle Crashers was fun and it was memey and it worked well as like a drunk college game to play with my friends. But like Full Metal Furies is a game that I actually think back to and even listen to the soundtrack not infrequently. And so, I don't know. I really feel bad for the developers for Celador Games that, like, a game they clearly put an insane amount of work into, just no one bought or cared for. What was the one that the Trine developers made? Because Shell liked that one. Shell and I liked that one as well. 9 Parchments. There we go. But yeah, 9 Parchments was really cool. And that's definitely another one of those games that, like, absolutely just flew under everybody's radar, despite the fact that it was a fairly good co-op game. Okay. I don't quite have the mana to deal with these guys. I guess I do. I just don't have the mana to take a hit by them. There we go. Oh yeah, you can break the vines. I forget that often. Oops, that's the wrong one. Okay, so far so good. Just gotta fear that for a bit. Kill the eyeball, and we're golden. Okay. Get a little bit of mana back. Everything hurts. Why does everything here suck? Whoa! Was not expecting that. Okay. So far, so good. Oh, the little bloblins can get across. Okay. There we go. Room is a dead end too. Wow. So there's actually just no reason to have come down into here, apart from just challenge room. Alright, just, that's fine. It's fine. Right, actually doing shockingly well, all things considered. I was really expecting to dead end somewhere around here and die already, but not too bad. Still not entirely convinced I could take a Spelunker here and do it all well. Pretty sure I'd just get utterly skunked. Ooh, Stargate Diamonds, though. That's a new one. Let's see. I don't think... No, the payout on this one is okay. What do diamonds do? They're just worth a lot. There we go. Yeah, as long as you're below, I would say 10,000, it's probably worth going into that room. I'm sure there's, like, a specific math when you want to go in there. Seeing as we have some experts here, is there a specific pattern with that guy that you can, like, use to skunk him or, like, get through it? Or is it just a matter of pure luck? 100% luck. Gotcha. And hit that dude in the center. There we go. Then I can hit the horses. There we go. I'm just trying to be careful. Pure luck. Shame. I wasn't sure if there was like some kind of speedrunner trick that lets you get 100% of the time for Madcap Cash. Because I know there's a couple of games like that. Like Stardew Valley, one of the Carnival games, is straight up just like busted. And you can get it 100% of the time. So like on your first Carnival event, you can more or less just be like, and I have everything forever. You can get glasses from a shrine, but only if you have a blind character. That'll show you the winning chest. Huh. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Maybe would have been better off hanging out up next to him and chucking stuff, but hard to say. Stardew Valley was a chill game. It was fun. That was a game I would enjoy seeing more of with some friend squad co-op. Yeah, I will have to think about that one. Because I would like to get a group of friends to play it with. The problem is, in my immediate friend group, the people that I know, half of them already are playing. Like doing a Stardew Valley series themselves. And the other ones don't quite have the time. Like, I'm a little bit more focused on getting Don't Starve Together working first. I guess if that makes sense. Because we played that a little while ago, and it was really stupidly fun. And so I've been hoping to play more of that, but Lady She-Lab is not feeling great. So we're waiting a little while. Okay, there was something over here. I did get the wolf. Hey! Convenient. Okay, anything else in here? No, this room might have a secret chest, but that'd be about it. I thought I could make it. And I could not. Ooh. He hurts. Damn it. And I walked right into that one. It's fine. Came out of that fairly well. So we get a huge Lich King. Or a... I haven't tried a Lich King yet, so I have no idea how that would work. Do I re-roll, or do we try and roll large Lich King? Nah, let's re-roll for a bit. Let's do Dragon again. And let's be really silly. There we go. Dragons are now considerably better. Somewhat. That actually is not as much of an upgrade as I was hoping it would be. Acrophobic Dragon. Yeah, I gotta watch out for that one. I should be okay, but if I'm not okay, it'll be fine. I'll just play as a different character. Okay, that mana regen is considerably better than it was. So, pretty happy with that. Crit and strength are useless on dragons. Yeah, I know. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of planning on rolling through this game mostly with, hey, Sharon's Obel. There we go. Oh, and switch jumps. You know, I totally blanked on that one. Or Karen's Obel. Did I say Charon? I don't know. Old habits die very hard. That's okay. I'll get it back. Or I won't. Hello. And nothing. But yeah, I haven't really been investing in magic too hard. Or not magic, crit too hard. I've mostly been investing in basic stats, armor, and magic, just because the wizard characters have so far been more fun for me. I'm sure that melee characters... I'm garbage at timing those. I'm sure melee characters are actually still very, very worthwhile. I don't know, mildly spoiled. There we go. Gotta work on that a bit. Okay. There we go. Let's see, what was I gonna say? Right. But yeah, I haven't been investing too much in crit. I think I have the crit cape, and that's about it. But otherwise, nah, I haven't so much as, like, paid any attention to crit as a stat, just because I got other things to pay for. Other slightly more important things, question mark. I'm also, like, not really min-maxing here. Huh. Nope. Actually did kind of okay there. Better than I usually do with that one. Let's see. Nothing over there. We might have to switch soon. I think I actually managed to burn myself out a little bit on this yesterday. I was having a good time, but now I'm just kind of like slightly... I think it's because I'm overheating. It's just warm enough that my office is starting to get the heat, but it's not warm enough to justify air conditioning because it'll freeze the rest of the house. Which is a tragedy. I guess I could take the hat off, but no, the hat. I like the hat. Also, now I have hat hair. Makes it a little tougher. Whoop. There we go. What are you doing? I'm over here. Goof. Okay, anything else? No. Give me the money. Yeah, no, I think honestly, if we want to start turning a profit, apart from like going to the forest, I really am gonna have to start splunking and splunking only. Because yeah, everything else is just a little too slow. Means we actually have to invest in a little bit of damage, and I don't like that. Do you have a fan? I don't. And at this point, it's too late to pick one up. We have an air purifier, which we use to some degree, but it's not the greatest. The other thing is, you generally don't want airflow. You generally don't want airflow in a recording, if that makes sense. So, like, very specifically, I don't want to have a big thing in my room going, because that will make it in. I'm sure there's at least one or two videos from back when I was still living with my folks. Where you can hear at least some fan in the background. Because my parents straight up did not, and still don't believe in air conditioning. And that's kind of a pain in the ass. Okay, now we're starting to make a smidge of money. And dying, but that's okay. But, like, I truly do try and keep my, no fighting, they say. Okay, if I hang out over here... Ow, balls. He was just waiting there. But yeah, I truly try and keep most of my, my audio as... I'm not going to say pure as possible, but I try relatively hard to, I guess let's go with him for a bit. I try and keep everything from getting really loud in my footage, because otherwise it gets kind of gross and bad sounding. Do more damage with consecutive downstrikes. Oh, okay, that's really good. Okay, we're gonna try the Pokagi. Okay, that didn't quite work, but that's fine. Oh, retribution limbs. An interesting concept. Might have to work on that one. But yeah, I need to get some kind of fan in here, but I have to find one that's effectively virtually silent and very portable. I can't get a ceiling fan because I'm renting this house. And my landlord specifically does not want any modifications. I think because our last, the tenants before us, before we moved in here, they broke the lease and got a puppy, and more or less the landlords were just nice about it and were said, like, okay, fine, you can have the puppy. But the puppy apparently, like, straight up destroyed the house. To the point where they had to, like... to the point where they had to, like, replace the carpet and some other things. And that was, apparently not great. And so they're very anti changes to the house. That includes, like, I can't even put new blinds up. I have to use these, like, really crappy Venetian blinds, which is probably why you might notice with my footage, when I started out streaming today, it was pretty bright in here, and now it's getting slowly dimmer and dimmer. It's because I can't actually block the external light out particularly well, and that sucks. Because, yeah, I would love to actually have, like, a really dark, or not dark, well-lit, but on my own terms kind of room. If you're gonna have a pet, learn to steam clean. I mean, I don't think it was a matter of steam cleaning. I think the thing chewed and dug. Because there's still some marks left over. There's still some marks left over on, dang it. I'm losing my overheal here. There's still some marks on, like, some of the blinds downstairs, and, like, one or two of the door frames that kind of imply that the dog was not particularly well trained or anything like that. Which sucks, and that's why the landlords are like, please don't change anything. So I'm pretty sure they don't want that to happen again. Maybe I could try holding down for down attack, but I don't think that's a good idea. Not with this. Basically, this whole town is filled with bad dog owners. Somewhat, yeah. It's one of those where, it's very in vogue right now in America to get a dog, to rescue a dog. And I can't necessarily blame people for that. I mean, there are a lot of dogs in shelters that do need a forever home, and, you know, adopting a dog is a relatively easy and kind of nice thing to do, and they make good companions. Especially for a lot of people who might not actually have kids, or might not have kids for a while, or so on and so forth. The problem is, there's a lot of dog owners as a result. And there's a lot of dog owners that just don't actually do a good job of it. The hell room is this? Okay. And so, what we've been dealing with in our neighborhood, in our town, is a lot of people that have adopted dogs but haven't, like, put any effort into them. Or any love or care or attention. And it's kind of obvious that the house that I had rented right before this one, that we actually had to bail on the lease for, had really bad black mold, but that was the reason why we broke the lease. But one of the things that I had missed, because I'm blind as hell apparently, was the fact that the previous owner had been a dog owner, and had been, the dog had chewed up all of the door frames. Like, to the point where there were still very visible splinters that I just not seen. Which I feel kind of dumb about, but whatever. But so, finding that house on move-in day in that state was awful, and it was just like, never mind. And so that was a costly mistake, but we got out of it. And yeah, I've just seen like a lot of other people with just not great trained dogs around here, and it's sad because like I've been around some like absolutely lovely dogs, and I've also been around a lot of like there's one guy who has like it's not an Australian Shepherd. I'm terrible with dog breeds. This is a small little thing. He's never trained it to be around people, but he takes it walking once or twice a day. And to the point where, like, when we go by him, we cross to the other side of the street because his dog will lunge, growl, and bite if it can. And we've seen it do so to other people's dogs, other people, just across the street from our house. And it's just like, you'd think after the first instance you'd take the dog to dog school or, like, intensive training, not just keep walking around a neighborhood full of kids. And it's like, what? I thought I knew what darkness was, but here in the dungeon, darkness has a voice. It calls me through the grates, and around the corners it taunts me. The darkness is so thick, it's almost tangible, and the beasts here have made it their home. They move swiftly through the corridors and are more terrifying than anything I fought before. I must be prudent and choose my battles carefully. Being confrontational now may cost me my life. That's not a good thing for the dog either, because the city will put the dog down. Not fair to the dog at all. Oh yeah. I know it's hard. Some animals are just like some animals, like people, come out wrong. Some owners can't train them no matter what they do. But like, it's very clear that the man was just putting up with it without any sense or care of like what he was doing to the dog or the people around him. And honestly, I'm kind of shocked that, the dog actually hadn't bit somebody. Because, yeah, if we had gotten close before it lunged, it would have gotten to me. Or Shell, I don't know. Hopefully me first. I don't scar very easily. And also, I think I would be less traumatized? I don't know. That's not something I want to think about, like, me or her, ever. Because it should be neither. Let's see. Oh, did that... Huh. That's interesting. Wait. I downstruck it, but I still took damage. I like the idea of the downstrike in this game, but it lacks that smoothness from Hollow Knight. Let's see. Yeah, one way or another, I think I will always be more for, like, rodent ownership, all things considered. I want a Degu. I want 2 Degu. They're like... It's weird. It's kind of a sad fact about Degu, but they're one of the only animals that I know of that can, like, die of loneliness, which is obviously, like, a really sad thing to say, but, like, that really just means, like, take care of your Degu and, you know, give them a lot of love and attention, and they will live long, happy, and healthy lives. They're also one of the only animals I know of, like rodents, that straight up will just adopt you? It's not exactly the right term, but, like, as long as you pay attention to them and are kind to them and feed them whenever, they'll just more or less assume you're part of the same race as them and just treat you accordingly, and it's so cute. Degu or Tegu? Degu, with a D. I think it's easy to get spoiled by how smooth everything is in Hollow Knight. It absolutely is super easy to get spoiled by Hollow Knight. Which, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it sets the gold standard. It sets an unreasonable standard, but it is a very good standard to set for, like, modern Metroidvania design. And platformer design. And I hope, like, more games learn from it. I mean, very, very obviously, Ori and the Will of the Wisps clearly... Ori and the Will of the Wisps very clearly is inspired heavily by Hollow Knight and how Hollow Knight designed things. I think that's good. I think it's also just a little tragic because I know there's a lot of smaller developers with lower budgets and just lower skills that are going to get passed over as a result too. If we don't set the standards, how do we expect games to get better? It's true. It's just you never want people to have really unreasonable standards, I guess is kind of my point. A Tegu is a puppy lizard. Huh. So what is it? What game was I playing a while back? Oh, Diablo-likes. Are actually a really good example where the top dogs in the category are so insanely high tier that everything else that is below them, everyone is just like, yeah, but why would I play this over, like, Path of Exile or Diablo 3? And I really liked Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. It was a very flawed game, but there were merits to it, and I had a couple of conversations with people about how no matter what... No matter what, like, they would not play it because it just was inferior to the other games. And that's not necessarily, like, wrong, but it's one of those where it's like, by setting a standard too high, you also stifle any sense of alternatives, I guess. I've seen that with, like, Pokemon clones as well, here and there, where people make, like, an interesting Pokemon clone, and then a bunch of other people would be like, I will never want to play this because there's already Pokemon, and I'm like, but, like, this game does some interesting things. Or you also run into the weird issue like Dark Souls, where everybody's just trying to make more Dark Souls and sort of iterate on their own thing. And that's mildly my fear with Hollow Knight, is that we're just going to get a bunch of people that are trying to imitate Hollow Knight forever, and we actually stop getting new and interesting Metroidvanias because the standard is so high. And like I said, Ori and the Will of the Wisps took some heavy inspiration there, for better and worse, but, like, at the same time, I would prefer to see... Damn it. Got hit by the missile at the worst time.